right here, wrapped up into a nice little meal just for you. What's going on, everyone? It is Spot On Sports. We're not just accurate, but spot on. It's the new wave of sports that is sweeping the nation, and I'm your host, Tony Monk, here with my guy to my left, that is Brandon Walker, host of the Walker Review.
What's going on, bro?
And the new face, you met this guy last time, Terrell Sanders, you can call him Rex, host of Real Talk Radio. You can catch his show every Tuesday. Look at here, we are back here at OAKCLIFF. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into this show right now. Subscribe for more shows here on the YouTube channel as more is coming near in the future. Guys, what's poppin', y'all?
Hey, it's good.
We're popping these
We
collars,
up,
man.
What's up, man?
We're ready for football to start.
We are, man. We are ready
Literally.
for football to start.
Cowboy Nation.
But I ain't feeling good about football right now because the NFL Competition Committee issued a statement this past Wednesday from Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent saying that there will be no change to the rule as approved to the club for this spring as the NFL catch rule. As we all know, that players can no longer leave with their helmets. We see it in the preseason game, there have been flag after flag after flag. Even in form tackling, it's been bad. So, Rex, I'll start with you, man. What are your thoughts? Is this saving the league or is this destroying the league?
I read something like the other day that said a couple years we played flag football. It's killing the league. Simple tackles will get called flags because they said we're not leading with the head or they lead with the head. Like you ever play football and learn how to tackle, you have to lead with your head first. It's about a way that you can do it, but you have to lead with your head first. I just don't like the rule. It's just a horrible rule. And hopefully they calm down by the season. Just like all the other rules during preseason, by the time the season get here, they calm down and get back to playing football. Hopefully that's what they do because the rule is horrible.
I know you're upset. This is
It's not even just upset.
blasphemous. It's blasphemous.
I'm gonna talk about this in a few different scenarios, okay? So, one is appalling because literally football has always been a violent sport.
True.
So, you can't turn it into a pillow fight all of a sudden. Because I understand you're trying to protect the players, you're trying to protect your investment, you're trying to protect your pockets because players are not coming back and suing the NFL for their concussions issues. But I'm just being honest, dude. Like, you knew what you signed up for.
Like Drake said, you knew what it was.
Like, you knew what it was. I'm being real. When you get an MMA, you can't tell somebody no. You gotta hit them with an open hand. Nah, no, it's a fight. This football is physical.
Yeah, true.
But at the same time, you know what's gonna happen to the NFL overall? They're gonna start losing money. Because nobody's gonna want to see a game with 60 plus flags for the same exact thing. Players are gonna lose interest. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose interest, but dude, you understand how the morale drops when you get flag after flag after flag? It's like, now it's like, I hope they call the game fair. Because you may have one team that's overly aggressive and they're gonna get all the flags, and people's game plan is gonna be just strictly, hey, just make sure you get up the field.
True.
Just get up the field. If you need to push him out of bounds, you know what's gonna happen? It may be more torn ACLs. Because now you're gonna have people shoulder checking, trying to keep their heads up, or even more neck injuries because they're unable to turn their, and be honest, what Richard Sherman said, he said, even in rugby, where they don't even have any head protection, they lead with their head. You have no protection, guys all over the field, throwing themselves on other human beings with no head protection, and they lead with their head. So you can't change science or just the movement of the actual person's body. So I don't know where the NFL is going with this. I understand you're trying to protect the players and all of that, but you're not doing a good job, Jim.
And the game has gotten so soft. Back from the old days. I mean, my dad told me a story a long time ago. It was a Steelers player. He split something in his forearm, taped it up, and went back out there and played the remainder of the season. And I think the Steelers won the Super Bowl that year. But it's just with the aspect of football. Every play, 1,000 miles per hour. And the fact that these players, we're watching games, preseason game, we're watching the Raven game, form tackling.
True.
Form tackling is a flag.
I watched it was a preseason game, one of the first preseason games. Shout out to my boy Nick Orr, played for the Chicago Bears. He had a perfect ball deflection. He hit the receiver, caught a flag because he said he led with his head.
It's gonna take it's just gonna take the excitement out of the game. And with that, I'm not gonna sit here and say people are just gonna stop watching, but at the same time, if they look at the viewership closely, people are gonna start tuning out from these games. It's not gonna be really a lot of football that wants to be watched because, bro, who wants to? That's like seeing an NBA game with fouls all through the game. It's like, bro, what's the point? I didn't come for free throws.
And I get what the NFL is trying to do. Remember, we had a segment a while back when the Steelers safety spoke out about hits around the league. I get you trying to make the game safer, but there's only so much safety you can add into it before. Look, it's already easy enough for the offense as it is. Now we're going to be looking at games where the offense is probably going to be a lot of 40-point games.
To be honest, yeah, it's
a lot of 15-yard flags because the safety was trying to do form tackling. He got 15 yards. So, right, you can't touch the quarterback already. You can't put your hands on the receiver.
You can't go low.
Can't go low. You can barely go high. So where do you draw the line? And it just makes it so much harder on you.
Yeah, it definitely does. And with the rule change, it's just with the increase in so many of these injuries, it seems like the NFL is kind of backing away from their stance of just what the actual game is. I understand you have to protect your investment because they have bills to pay, they have families to put through school, they have other things they need to pay for. They may have a Lambo they have on rental. But I'm just saying, you're taking the enjoyment out of the game. And when you take the enjoyment out of the game, the viewership's gonna lack, and the game overall will begin to lack. So I hope they fix that.
Playing 7-on-7.
And I don't want to see no NFL 7-on-7. Ain't nobody
I
really
see
buying
if
no
you do
jerseys.
something like 7-on-7, you need to do that in like the summer or the
Watch when it
preseason.
comes to because it's going to be.
Switch to preseason to 7-on-7.
It's going to be
I'll
Nancy
be
Lynch.
watching the NFL.
I'm just saying, it's going to be Nancy Lynch.
Go Tiger, I'll be watching golf.
Another reason why what's going to happen when that CBA expires? Lock out.
I'm ready for it. I mean, I just play Madden. I'll simulate my season. That's what the Cowboys are going to do.
Anyway, we return here on Spot on Sports dress rehearsal weekend. It is week 4 of the preseason and the climax, as we all like to call it, before the scrubs really start fighting for their jobs and their positions. So we'll get into which teams are we most interested in seeing when we return here on Spot on Sports. Stay tuned. The hype is right here on Spot on Sports. We return. Which teams are we most interested in seeing for dress rehearsal this preseason week 4? We got a lot of teams on our list. A whole lot of teams. Start with you, sir. Who you got on your radar?
Whole lot. So what I have on my radar, I'm gonna be looking at one, the Atlanta Falcons. I want to see how this team fully looks put together. I like the pickup of the young man receiver Calvin Ridley. Bama roll down Tide. But at the same time, I want to see if this defense is improved because we've already known Atlanta has had that prolific offense that can score. They only added even more firepower with Calvin Ridley. But in the end, you need defense because that's what sold them out when they played the Patriots. They had Tom Brady come back like he was Willie Beeman in any given Sunday and took the whole game over. So I need to see Atlanta be able to come together and see if this coaching staff has even gotten stronger with their play calling because there's a lot of different things that kind of stalled them out as it got to the end of the season. The second team I want to see, that bad man Aaron Rodgers. That bad man. Hey, I got my fantasy draft next month. I'm just trying to.
That's like your
draft.
team.
I'm not saying anything.
No.
So back to the Green Bay Packers. Where I honestly want to see how this offense looks with Jimmy Graham because Aaron Rodgers is going to definitely be able to utilize his receivers whether they're prolific or not because he's that good of a thrower. And the one thing that's going to actually improve, I want to see this. I want to see how this defense actually looks because they drafted some stud cornerbacks in the draft. And I want to see if the D linemen that they actually signed with Muhammad Wilkerson and the other people that they signed are actually going to come together because the only Achilles heel that the Green Bay Packers have really had is injury or defense. So if they're able to put all of that together with the addition of Jimmy Graham, I don't see how they can't knock off the Vikings because even though they have that man, what's his Cousins, whatever.
You see him knocking off the Vikings?
I'm not sold on Kirk. I've never been sold on
Kirk. He's got a good
Why
spot.
aren't you sold on Kirk?
Even with a good squad, I'm not sold on Kirk.
Why?
What the hell
He
is
can
he
slay, he can slay, he can rock.
Not
And he
showing
has
me anything.
Stephon Diggs as well, so why not so?
I'm cool. I'm getting.
Did Dalvin Cook is coming back?
Okay, I agree with that, but at the same time, I'm gonna be real. Stephon Diggs is not a receiver you fear.
You don't trust Kirk in the big games.
That's all.
All right, that's what it is.
And if you have that kind of team, every game's got to be a big game. So I'm not so.
True.
Sorry.
Who you got,
What's
Rich?
yours? What's your list? I want to see.
Mine, I have the Jaguars, Jackson Jaguars. Why did I say the Jackson
Okay,
Jaguars?
Ramsey.
That's one of my main reasons, Jalen Ramsey.
You believe it, bro.
I'm looking at the defense. The defense is just about like unstoppable.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying? You have a front line, they have a complete defense.
Mhm.
But reason why I want to see them in the preseason
Better
for
not
the
be
best rehearsal, because I want to see their offense. They lost both their key receivers,
Mhm.
and then they have D. Westbrook, and I can't think of the other dude's name right now.
I know they drafted DJ Chark. They have Marquise Lee. They actually signed Moncrief from the Colts.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot of receivers.
lot of
Yes, I want
speed
to
on
see.
the
I want to see what type of offense they're gonna run. They still have Leonard Fournette, so I want to see Blake Bortles with these new group of receivers to see if he's better.
Blake will get better. He gonna lose his spot.
It's true.
What Jalen say about Blake? He do what
He's got to do.
He
My
do what he
second
gotta
team.
do.
My
He's
second
not
team
lying.
North is the American team, Dallas Cowboys. I just want to see what they're gonna do with Rico Gathers. That's one of my
Rico!
favorites. I want to see what the defense looks like, and I want to see the offense again. We've been looking good so far in preseason. I just want to see how the offense is together, how it all works out.
It's kind of going to be hard to really gauge how the Cowboys are going to be because we're not going to see the complete team until week 1 of the preseason dealing with the injuries.
85% of the team.
Basically, because it's just like I understand we had Zach Martin had that little scare. They're not rushing him out. Prayers to Travis Frederick. We're hoping to get him back sometime in later on in the season. But it's just right now, all our preseason games are going to be for the younger talent and seeing if they can make this roster.
Exactly.
So even what we see on Sunday is not going to be what we'll
Well,
probably
if
see.
we're looking at the Cowboys, we have a lot of young talent.
That's
That's
true.
what I want to see. I want to see the receivers. I want to see Michael Gallup.
Mhm.
I want to see how he incorporates into the offense and how he gets better. Every week he seems like he's getting better. And like I said, I want to see Rico Gathers.
They better get stunned on my boy Rico.
Y'all are very high. Now, I ain't no Rico. I like Rico. Well, y'all are very high on him. What is that?
He's an athletic freak.
Y'all see a basketball player?
We see
put
a
on
Jimmy
football,
Graham. I see a Jimmy
he
Graham. I
just-
see the Antonio Gates. I see that in him.
This is
I
the
see-
thing
I
with
see
the
a
Cowboys,
playmaker.
bro. This
I
is
see a
exactly what it
playmaker.
is. NFL teams who are really about winning utilize their personnel to their strengths.
Exactly.
Jimmy Graham, I'm gonna be real. Did you see Jimmy Graham out there blocking for Seattle even though they're a run-heavy team? Not really. They put in the second string tight end because he could block better.
Exactly.
So if you just want to continue to push the issue that every tight end has to be like a Jason Witten, all-around blocking tight end, cool. But you're gonna be waiting a long time before you find that kind of tight end.
Especially today, the way the game is going today. We have more athletic players. So
Seriously.
nobody's going to
Evan
sit there and
Ingram.
block no more.
Evan Ingram. Do
You know what
you?
I'm saying?
No, bro.
O.J.
I
Howard.
got it. I get it. I get
You
it.
gotta move with the game. Don't. Hey, Jerry. That's why I say Jerry Jones is stuck in the '90s. He does not want to move and transition, bro. I guarantee. I don't even know if he has a cell phone. I think it's a flip phone.
He
He's
did
that
say he had a
stuck.
flip phone. He
I
did
think
say
he's
he
that
had a
stuck
flip
in the
phone. I
past
think I
that he
heard.
does not know how to grow up. I'm just being honest.
True, 'cause
He runs his team like he has a flip phone, man.
So y'all approve JG's.
Oh,
I get it.
Of course not. Of course not.
So-
I'm very vocal about that one.
Boom, the one person we are not talking about, number 12 for who? Indianapolis Colts. Who? Led them to 3 straight 11-5 seasons before he got hurt.
Been on his shoulder.
Look, I'm interested to see him. I need to take a couple of shots downfield. I'm not sure Ty Hilton's.
You don't need to take a couple shots, literally.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. He got hit last week. We saw that he got back up, and Terrell Suggs got from behind. We know he's. I ain't gonna say he's durable.
Maybe a little whiskey.
Yeah, man, take a couple of shots. He's good to go. But listen, I need to see him just regain his poise, his form, and his Colts offense. We know they do have a couple of injuries to the running back position. The line could slightly be getting better, or it can still be shaky. But receiving core, it's okay.
I'm still
Not
not-
Chester Rogers, T.Y. Hilton is still here.
It's like-
It's okay.
Chester Rogers.
But
You sold on that?
Chester Rogers is okay.
By now, okay, it's the
We
NFL.
just got done talking about Rico Gathers, who in preseason of week 1 was
Yeah,
like the
don't
9th tight end on the
disrespect
depth chart.
They need to go sign theirs then.
Okay. If they go sign Chester Rogers. But it's still like talking down on T.Y. Hilton.
I'm not talking down on T.Y. but at the same time, I'm just not.
He can't do it by himself.
Not at
No,
all.
of course not. But when he was doing it by himself and Andrew Luck was healthy, and they had 1,200 yards receiving in 11-5 seasons.
I'm not talking about what he did past, but he's in the late.
Listen, Andrew
Where has he done for you?
Andrew Luck needs time. Okay, he's coming off an injury.
Man,
It's
time
been
gets
how
people
long?
fired.
It's been how long?
Time gets people fired.
He's not gonna get fired. We know.
He can't get fired, but the people behind him will.
They have.
See.
They have.
What's your other team? You said the coach. Who else?
We're going with the Bills, man. I like Josh Allen. Okay, I like the arm look. From
What
my
Jalen Ramsey
I don't care what
say?
Jalen Ramsey said
What
about
Ramsey
it. Okay, he's getting the start on Saturday.
I bet.
That's what I do know, and a chance to lead this team in the week.
Shout out to AJ McCarron, Bama alumni.
Look, hurt,
Man, it's
shoulder injury, hurt,
Blame Myles Garrett.
not playing. Nathan Peterman hurt.
Man,
You
it's
know,
rough.
missed the 5 interceptions. Exactly. So your best bet is who? Josh. He's the only person he can make the, but see,
Traded for Teddy Bridgewater.
he can make the throw. He has LaShawn McCoy. He got 2 big receivers. You got Kelvin Benjamin, Andre Holmes.
I'm sold on the Bills being the worst team in the NFL.
The Bears also
Who will
got
not be the worst team?
Did they get Corey Cole?
They did get Corey Cole. Don't be.
It's
The
like
worst
Bama.
team. The worst team. So you said they're gonna be below the Bengals.
They're gonna be so.
They're not going to
They're
be
gonna
below
be
the
winning.
Bengals.
They're gonna
They
be
will
fighting
not
for
be
one.
below
Two.
the Bengals.
They're gonna-
It's not happening.
Unless the Bengals trade AJ Green, they're gonna be below.
True. I got
Be
the
below
point.
the Bengals.
I got
The
point.
Bills
I
are
got the
not.
point.
Look, rookie quarterback, yes. They
Yeah.
take a massive step back. I ain't gonna say massive. Because anything will be
Yeah,
better than what they
it's
were
a
showing
bad-
they could be.
Mhm.
It's a massive step when you go from Tyrod Taylor to Josh Allen.
Went from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott.
Okay.
That's nothing.
And then we didn't know. We didn't know that.
We don't. Nobody knows, but I think Jalen Ramsey.
That no one knows how. No
But
one
Jalen
knows
Ramsey-
how Josh
What
Allen
he
is
say
going
he's
to
trash.
Trade.
He has Kelvin Benjamin. He has LaShawn McCoy. Tell
Kelvin
me Aaron
Benjamin
is
needs to quit, get off the Haagen Dazs.
And stop running away from Cam Newton. Cam Newton wants to talk to you. Don't run away from him.
Like
Don't run
fam, like
Don't
He
run
don't
away
hear
from
none
Cam
of that.
Newton.
Kelvin
None
Benjamin
of
is
that.
cool, but he's a tight end. I'm just
Yeah.
take that. I'm ready to see the rookie linebacker. He's like literally 20 years old. Finna ball. So cool, but still Bills and
But okay, but we forget they do have a defense. We forget Nicholas Alexander, Michael Hyde. They have a couple of studs on their front seven.
But if they
we're ruling them out. They're in the AFC East with the Jets and the Dolphins. They can easily, if Josh Allen plays a
We all know
steady
the Patriots
season,
gonna win
they
their
easily-
division.
They
Don't
are.
talk about
We're
it.
not saying that they won't, but they can easily play second.
Okay, it's
Did
still
they not
one
win
playoff
the
team out that team. One playoff team out the division is the New England Patriots.
Okay.
I'll
okay.
give the Jets second.
Everybody slow down. What?
Hold on, their defense is
Okay, if Sam Darnold starts, but that's that much better than the Bills starting Josh
They
Allen.
have more weapons.
Who?
Okay, so we're having receiver. We have what else?
They have Robbie Anderson. Robbie
Robbie
Anderson, okay.
Anderson,
Who's
Terrell
the-
Pryor, who got bucked at and flinched. Who else?
I like the DBs. I like Jamal
I do.
Adams.
I do.
I like Jamal
To be
Adams.
honest, the Jets were actually prolific last year with the old guy back there, quarterback Josh McCown. They have some youth back there. at the
They won what,
quarterback
4
position.
games?
No, 4. Nah.
6?
Yeah.
The Bills can win more games than that. The Bills
Okay.
can at least get 7 or become an 8-8
You
team.
want to bet on that?
How much you want to get?
I'm betting.
What we gonna
50
bet?
piece.
How much we gonna bet? What we
This
gonna
is a
bet?
spot on sports
This
bet.
spot on
50
sports
piece.
bet. The
I'm
first
talking
spot on
about a whole
sports
50. Boy,
50.
50 piece.
50 piece. What's the
50
bid?
piece.
What's the bid?
50. Bill, what's the bet?
So we gonna bet money?
I'm not betting chicken.
No, we gonna bet some food or something.
No, 50 dog hairs.
All right, at the end of the season,
What is
then
it?
the Bills will have a better record than the Jets. All right, you see that? Close up on that, right here. And I don't even bet, but I'll agree to this.
I don't
I'm
either.
Right. You know why? It's gonna spot on. That's what I'm talking about.
Spot off. Better go clean that.
B.
Nah, that's the next segment. What's the next segment? Cause he over here talking that.
Who's gonna start for the Jets at quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Mhm.
We go over there. Sam Darnold is gonna.
I'm not hoping because that's not my team.
Jets win team. I know a weak Jets team to be better than
It's not a weak Jets team because that defense is legit. Like, too legit to quit.
What's the Bills defense?
Jamal Adams.
Shout out to Jamal Adams.
Like, are you serious?
I'm not alienating him. I'm just saying. Okay.
I bet they have at least a top 10 defense. Bills ain't.
You're not gonna baby into this.
I'm not betting. I'm not betting.
You're not
on
gonna baby into this
Top
on the
10
Jets.
I agree. I definitely
No.
agree with that. Because Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded coach. So if anything, that defense is gonna be legit.
Guys, watch more
And then you
Spot
got
on Sports.
then the team that plays Miami.
Watch this
Bills.
man as the season goes along. He eats
They got
Man.
they got some
Uh-huh.
kind of stories.
He finds out that I'll be $50 richer.
Boy, I'm a Harlem Shake all the way to that 50.
Yeah, I'll be $50 richer once the season
Boy,
is over.
alright.
You walk, I think.
You better pay me my money.
Comment,
I'll
rate,
leave the
subscribe,
show.
drop us a like.
I'll leave y'all like Skip left.
Appreciate it. Before we have to review on that.
I'll leave you like Skip.
Man, look here.
You better go to the
Bills.
next segment. Alright.
Spot on sports.
I'll walk out.
Not just accurate, but spot on.
Spot out.
Tune in next time.